Rorschach's Journal, September 20th, 2016. This collection is afraid of me. I've seen its true face, where the broken joints and tarnished boxes will foam up around their waists, and all the collectibles and exclusives look up and shout, "Save us!" And I'll whisper, "You're watching Trench Review."
Good evening, YouTube. Austin Trench coming at you with a very special review. Today I am covering the Mattel exclusive Rorschach from the Watchmen series. Now get this, unlike the action figures for the movie Watchmen that came out along with the movie back in 2009, in 2010 they started to reissue these. But get this, they were more accurate to the graphic novel's portrayal of them, meaning these are reused parts from other DC toy lines that are used for these figures. Let's open them up to see what's inside this epic figure packaging. Alright, here's Rorschach out of his box, and my goodness, it's quite surreal how impressive this figure looks. As you know, as I said before, these are basically remakes of other toys, just made to look different. This is a retread of what I think is the Question figure from the DC Multiverse line, but added a scarf to it and repainted all of it. Another thing I really want to add is about how incredible its posability is. You've got posability right here, you've got 360 movement. Sadly, the trench coat does not move much because it's limited in its movement, but the head moves very well, and I'm just so impressed. He's even got little holes for other weapons you could put on him, like which I have right here, the grappling hook, which I will get to later, but I'm really impressed. Now, there's a problem I have with this figure. It's the fact it does not come with any form of interchangeable masks for Rorschach. And that's not right, considering Rorschach's mask always moves. And I know they couldn't really do that on a figure, but some added heads really would have helped sell the figure, because everyone has a specific favorite shape of what Rorschach's mask has. Another major issue I have is the fact that it doesn't have holes for the hands to go in, and it's very difficult to get the hands off of the figure because it might risk damaging this figure. But really, I could care less. I'm a huge fan of Watchmen, I'm a huge fan of Rorschach, and it's also very funny to have a very special figure on standby if you're a total fan of the character's persona online as well.
Rorschach and Deadpool, I'm not enough fool.
Now, in terms of accessories, Rorschach only comes with 3 things. He comes with a stand, his trusty gas-powered grappling hook, and a card with a bio on it. See right here? And we're going to go through these individually to show how important these things are for this figure. On the back you can see it tells Rorschach's entire origin story for those who don't know once they get this figure. It tells us where he was born, what his childhood was like, it tells him what he's done in his career as a crime fighter, and how he is today. And you know what? I think this is great for the figure. It's a true Easter egg and a true sort of appreciation of the fans to give them that bio. Another one I want to talk about is the stand. Now, I'm a bit cross with this stand because all it is just a circle with Watchmen on it, when really it would have been better if they used the comedian symbol or his happy face bloodstained badge as a stand for each of the Watchmen figures, because that's such an iconic image of the Watchmen franchise. But, you know, it's still fun. See, you can put it right here, and Rorschach stands perfectly right there, but he can stand perfectly on his own. But, you know, it's not really something I'd say you need for this figure. That's only if you're into that kind of collecting where everything needs to be on a stand. And finally, we come to the grappling hook. Now, this one is a bit of a disappointment for me, because get this, you can't eject the grappling hook at all because it's all one molded figure, which I'm not really happy with because, again, the grappling hook, like the badge the comedian had, is an iconic item that Rorschach has, even though Night Owl gave it to him. But, you know, it's okay. As you can see, it's bent right here at the tip. I think that was just like a a packaging issue when they sent it. It was probably hot off the assembly line, and they stuck it in there, and just like over time, it just sort of melted into that sort of shape, just bent forward right there. But I really do recommend you have this part. Because only true Watchmen fans know that without that grappling hook, Rorschach wouldn't be the badass crime fighter that he is today. So, overall, I give this a 10 out of 10. It's absolutely awesome, even though I really wish it came with extra heads and that the grappling hook could shoot the hook out of it. It's still a perfect figure for true Watchmen fans. And no offense to the movie franchise toy line, but that was so limited in terms of articulation and movement. This is not limited. It's absolutely fantastic. And I recommend you try to find these figures. I would say, but sadly, I can't.
What? What do you mean you can't say where to find these toys? You can go What? You're censoring the sites? No, this shall not stand. The people need to know. Step aside, Snyder. The truth must be told.
You know I can't let you do that, Rorschach. The marketing for these are too great. If known, these figures will become scarce.
So, now you care about Watchmen marketing. Convenient. You know, if you would have cared about the franchise from the start, this wouldn't have been happening, and people would have a lot of figures.
I can change and market any franchise, but I can't change collectors' nature.
Yes, must protect fanboy utopia. Then what's one more figure on the Shell's foundation? Well, what are you waiting for? Do it!